God, you know what? It feels so good when everything goes to plan and there are no mistakes when we do this every week.
I'm a man of few mistakes. Sometimes I just make mistakes so I feel alive again.
Oh, man. Mistakes have been made today.
This mistake was brought to you by Old 99 Brewing Co. We'll be drinking for the win.
We're drinking fur.
So what's the fuck up you're talking about, huh? Did you lose your hair?
I think it's your fuck up. So what did we learn today, Cleet?
Oh, yeah.
What did we learn today,
Well,
Cleet?
I did all this research, maybe an hour for the Tier 4 iceberg, and I didn't save it. My computer crashed, and it's not recoverable.
So what did we learn, Cleet?
You know what, Britton? Shut up. Because we're going to make this work, goddammit.
Yeah, so we were going to dive deeper into this conspiracy theory iceberg. Here's all my research. It looks beautiful. I spent like 3 hours on it today. I show up and Cleet's like, no, it's gone.
I had so many funny jokes with North Korea, too. You guys are missing out because we're not going to be doing that tonight. We're going to be doing another Reddit thread.
Which kind of an insider for you viewers, because you're probably wondering, why are these guys doing so much Reddit? Reddit's kind of like a good fallback sometimes, like if we run out of time or if there's
Reddit's
a mistake.
the best. It's like my favorite
It
episode.
is, but it requires like little to no research other than finding a topic.
Yeah, we just like to get beers and talk.
Yeah.
So let me explain my mistake here. So I typed everything on my computer, couple hours, and then I get an alert on my phone because I'm doing Uber Eats now. It's a new thing, right?
Oh, nice.
It's like, hey, do this delivery. I'm like, all right. I go and do a delivery. Came back, everything was gone. But I've been only doing it for about a week. And I had I got a bad, what do you call it, survey?
Review?
Yeah, we all know I'm great at customer experience. I'm all about just customer satisfaction.
So you got your first like half star?
So let me explain.
Okay.
So I try to avoid the McDonald's, the KFCs, the Taco Hells, But, one day I just saw A&W, KFC. I'm like, you know what, screw it. With Uber Eats, sometimes they add orders on orders that you can accept, so you pick up two things.
So
it's like, hey, since you stopped by here, how about you go to KFC? And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do it.
So for those like myself who don't do Uber Eats or don't know how it works, like, do you get to pick the restaurants you pick up from?
Yeah, they'll be like, hey, you can pick up here and deliver this to someone. Do you want to accept? And you have like, I don't know, maybe 15 seconds to say yes or not.
Oh, so all the drivers get like this notification like, hey, do you want to go do this?
Yeah, and it tells you like the expected tip and things like that.
Interesting.
So anyways, I'm like, okay, I'll go to A&W. I'll do it. Whatever, right? I go there and I park. I go inside, I have my phone ready because it says the name of the person and the order. And I'm like, they're really busy. And the guy looks at me and I'm like, hey, I'm here for this order. And he's like, oh, will you show me what's on the order? And he looks at me and there's like, his eyes are all glassy. It's kind of like a little bigger face. He looks high out of his mind. Okay, like
and this was at KFC, you said?
Yeah, smoking
A&W.
the ganja at KFC, A&W.
Okay.
And the order was 2 large drinks and like a bacon cheeseburger combo, okay?
Okay.
So I'm holding 2 big old drinks. And I'm like holding the bag like with the drinks after they give it to me, right? They have no idea what the order was. They look at my phone like, all right, we'll make it. Anyways, I get it. I go to my car. I drive the place. I drop it off, whatever. I'm driving to my next order. And I get a call on my phone. And it's the guy that I dropped it off to. And it didn't help that I was making jokes that I was going to steal his food. I went to go drop it off on the guy's porch. I'm like, I'm going to steal your food. Because, my girlfriend Christine was with me and I was just being silly. Anyways, they only put in the fries. They didn't put in the bacon cheeseburger.
Oh,
I don't know if he heard me say that. But he calls me and he's like, hey.
Did you steal my burger?
He's like, did they put a burger in the food? I'm like, oh, were you my KFC burger? Or, sorry, were you my... No. I said, are you the KFC order? And he's like, no, A&W. I'm like, yeah, so the KFC order. And then he's like, no, A&W. I'm like, no, they're the same place. I don't know why I'm arguing with this gentleman.
You're wrong, sir.
No, they're the KFC. They're the same store.
They share a store.
And then he got mad and hung up. And I'm pretty sure that's my bad review.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, they're the same store. It's like KFC and A&W.
Are you my KFC order? He's like, no, my name's Jeff.
Yeah.
You ate my burger. I know you did.
I try to be nice. I try to be courteous to everyone. I wasn't rude on the phone. I just like, yeah, no, KFC and A&W. It's the same thing. No?
Yeah, I don't know.
Cleet, you messed it up again.
That was a good story, though.
Yeah.
I appreciate that story. So you said you've been doing it for about a week?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, pay's okay. Depends on the day. All right. Well, let's
And it
jump
depends
into
on if you get your food.
Yeah.
If you quit stealing people's burgers, you might get a little bit more,
Just a little
money.
piece of bacon hanging from my mouth. No.
So, yes, we are back to Reddit, and the thread, wow, puberty. And the thread we're talking about today is, what is the most unexplainable thing that has ever happened to you? Serious.
Let's get creepy.
And next week, okay. And next week, we'll cover the iceberg tier 4, which I'm already researched for. So I get a research-free week.
You gotta relax a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, so I'll go ahead and kick us off. So this comes from Project Runinsky. Probably butchered the hell out of that. I once woke up suddenly in the middle of the night with the lights on, my blankets thrown on the floor, and my entire body soaked head to toe in orange juice. No, it was not piss. It was orange juice, and it was even in my hair.
There's so many questions there.
Yeah, you get more questions than answers with this one.
Where did the orange juice come from?
Are you sure it wasn't piss?
It's like the Kool-Aid man came through the door, but it was full of orange juice and just threw him in the cup.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of a sleepwalking vibe.
Yeah, so when you were...
Check the fridge.
Do you still sleepwalk? Does that ever happen to you?
I've never slept walk.
You never slept? I used to do it all the time when I was a kid.
No.
I used to wake up in weird spots.
You know, I used to think that it was like I was missing out because I'm like, man, it must be cool to just like wake up and not know where you are. I don't know why that's something I thought would be fun, but...
That'd be a fun surprise to start my day. Like I woke up in the strip club.
House. That doesn't sound like sleepwalking. It sounds like you were partaking in whatever the guy at KFC had.
Oh, man.
You just decided to wake up in the strip club.
All right, this person
covered in orange juice.
This person has a similar story. It's phase. Sounds like sleepwalking. I had a somewhat similar experience, but I went through the house, turned on all my lights, and closed all the blinds. I woke up in my closet clutching my rifle.
Oh, God.
I thought the CIA was coming for me.
Well, they might be after they found out what you did.
The government is after me. All the governments.
Yeah, that's a little dangerous, though.
Oh, yeah.
Waking up with the rifle.
Easily could have shot yourself.
Right. This one comes from Deleted. I like the deleted ones.
Yeah.
Driving on the east coast of Canada with a buddy, and we want to grab a lobster supper before we head home. That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
So we stop at the first place we see with lobster, a restaurant just before Cape Breton with huge signs that says lobster dinner, food, open, restaurant, etc. Two bikers pull in before us and we are greeted at the door by a short, ecstatic Acadian man.
I don't know. Weird. Canadian? Maybe?
I don't know. It's spelled Acadien. I don't know what that is. I apologize. He starts shouting how happy he is to see them, starts lighting firecrackers, and starts saying, "Have a drink, it's on the house," and pours them water into styrofoam cups. Me and my friend get the same warm welcome. I don't know if I'd like that.
I'd be like, this is going to be dinner to show.
I don't know what I'm walking into. Walk into the restaurant, and it's not a restaurant. It's more of a gift shop with a huge fireworks selection. The only food in the place is Dolce by the pound. We go up to Monsieur Shopkeep and ask if they serve food, and he says, "I'll see what I can do," and walks over to the bikers.
I don't believe this. That doesn't make any sense.
What are we reading? We're about to leave when he calls us over and starts prattling on about the Terry Fox Foundation and how he's been collecting for it for 40 years. And then he says, "I want to thank you boys for what you've done. And here are some Terry Fox ribbons and some firecrackers for the road." He says this before he asked us for money. Before we donated, we gave him $5 and got the fuck out of there. Step outside and the two bikers are looking around at another building on the property that might be the actual restaurant. They come out looking puzzled and shout over, "There's no fucking restaurant here." Left without answers or lobster.
You gotta read that follow-up.
Read the follow-up? So the follow-up comes from Bob the Pillager. "Motherfucker. I went to that same place. He gets $20 out of my family for Terry Fox every time we are there. It was right by the bridge, right? That guy is crazy. In a good way. A sort of family friend of my Nan's. So weird that someone else went there."
God. Like, I would imagine, like, That sounds like if you took a hit of acid and just started driving down the highway.
I don't know that feeling. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying that's a thing. That
this
seemed
your
like a
last
weird
weekend?
trip to me, okay?
A little bit.
Like, it didn't make any sense. You're just driving down the highway, you see lobster, and then some firecracker man comes out.
Well, it's got to be so disappointing because all you wanted was a lobster dinner, and you're like, I want lobster dinner. And you'd see lobster, you see food, you walk in, and some guy's shooting firecrackers at your face and pouring you water in a styrofoam cup. That's not a lobster dinner. That's upsetting.
Like, you know what? I'm going to eat you here.
I'll even eat the stale crackers you got in the back. I'm not leaving until I get a lobster dinner. So you better get a fishing pole, and you better go get some fucking lobster.
All right, this one's from Pancake Butler. One time, I genuinely thought someone's wallet had spontaneously burst into flames.
What?
I looked over, and that shit burst into flames as he was paying for his groceries. The man holding the wallet didn't react at all, so I was about to warn him when the flames just disappeared. I asked my coworker if he had just seen a crazy wallet fire, but he had no idea what I was talking about. It was so real. I even asked the manager to let me see the security footage. Of course, nothing was there. Easily one of the most confusing moments of my life. So,
I feel like you got punked.
caveat there. They do have wallets like that with magicians where they light on fire when you open it and then you just shut it.
That's what I was saying. It's probably punked.
But the thing about it not being on security cameras, someone wrote back and just said, Moses? Moses went to my grocery store? God damn it.
Okay. This one's from Ratava. My freshman year of college, I had horrible insomnia. I would sleep for about an hour a night, tops. As a result, I often hallucinated or dozed off in class. One time I was watching my professor lecture about some lost Italian civilization when suddenly he burst into flame and began to levitate. It was one of the most horrifying things I had ever seen, and just as I was about to shout, I jerked awake. I looked down at my notebook and I had written all over the page, will someone please make the wolves stop screaming? The hell?
So I snore really bad. I think, guys, we went camping that one time. I think
Oh, yeah.
either you or Curtis mentioned, like,
Oh, it was me.
we heard you snoring like
You were
Jesus.
fucking sawing logs. I thought you literally brought a chainsaw and were just going to town on the trees.
So anyways, when I was a younger man, I think I did an all-nighter without sleeping. I woke up early, went to university for like a finance class. It's back before I was interested in finance.
Yeah.
And I remember like I was like nodding off and then I like fell asleep. And I imagined that I was snoring pretty loud next to me. Just with his elbow went like bam. Like he hit me hard. I woke up like, ugh. He's like, dude, you were snoring. I'm pretty sure everyone was looking at me, but I just looked straight ahead. Like I wasn't even sleeping.
You just look right at the teacher like, it wasn't me.
Can you imagine?
Oh, my God.
Someone it falls asleep and aggressively snores.
I
in
can
your
imagine
class.
you 100% doing that. Just snoring. And it's
Yeah.
just like echoing around the classroom. Everyone's like, what the hell?
Yeah, and there
is
was like
this guy
70 people in that
I
class.
just imagine your mouth like wide open,
Oh, yeah.
leaning back. Good times.
Chlorophyll, more like borophyll.
More like borophyll.
It's from Beards Up the Wazoo.
Oh, that sounds like me.
I went to the bed in my room. The door was locked. I woke up and noticed a puddle of water on my desk. Not just a puddle. It was as much water as possibly could have been on the desk and not have surpassed the possible surface tension. It was like someone had measured out the exact amount of water and poured it out perfectly. My head was 2 feet from the desk. I know for a fact that no one came into the room. I felt the carpet around the desk. Nope, not wet. I checked the door. Still locked. 4 stories up, and my bed was below the window. Impossible to gain entry there. I felt the ceiling, and it was dirty. Felt the wall.
I felt the ceiling, and it was.
It was
Felt the
sticky.
ceiling, and it was dirty.
I felt the ceiling, and it was dry. Felt the wall next to my desk.
Dirty.
Dry. This was 7 years ago, and I have lived in 4 states since and had so many new experiences, but I still don't know how that water got on my desk.
That's a prank.
Oh, hey, someone wrote, in an unrelated mystery, the ice cubes you were keeping on the same desk were never found.
You peed on your desk, buddy. That's what the next comment. Perfectly peed. Just a bunch of orange juice.
He's like the Rain Man of Piss Man.
What? I tried to like be comfortable with that saying, but this is from Awkward Archer. When I was very young, I was at the playground with my mom. It was late, the sun had set, and the reason we were there was because my dad was at a store nearby, and we were waiting for him. Oh, the good old dad at the store. I was probably 7 or so. I'm at the top of the jungle gym, about to go down the slide when this little girl comes up to me and just looks at me. She's probably a few years younger than me. I'm friendly and say hello, and I wanted to be a big girl, so I offered my hand for a handshake. She took my arm and bit me as hard as she fucking could. I slid down the slide, holding my arm, screaming for my mom. I was so confused. Why would she do that? Mom, she bit me. Ah! My mom tried to look for the girl or her parents, but she was nowhere to be found. My mom concluded that the parents scooped up the girl and ran off out of embarrassment. I'm 25, still think about it until this day, and have no idea why. Edit, I think I got bitten by patient 0.
It's one of those feral children.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Playground was next to some woods.
They just live by the canal. Eating the crawfish out of there.
Like, this is my slide. Take a big old chunk out of her arm. Oof. Oh, shit, I forgot. I have another drink for us to drink. It's Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew.
Flamin' Hot. This is not going to be good. Why do you not have one for yourself?
I do. It's actually really good.
All right.
I can't believe I forgot that till now. So there is a drink. It's literally Mountain Dew Flamin' Hot.
Oh, that sounds so gross.
And I know, so they originally released it like just online, and it went super quick. But now you can get a 12-pack of it like almost everywhere. I was like, I have to try it. It's not bad. It tastes just like Mountain Dew. 100%.
You're fucking with me.
No.
Here it goes.
Told you.
What the hell?
Does not. You'll get the burn after. It's not bad, but
I don't even feel the burn.
you will. Just keep
Okay,
drinking.
hang on.
It comes.
Oh. Oh, boy.
But it's not bad, though, right?
It's not bad.
It's not great. It's not bad. Just keep drinking. You'll be all right.
This one's a short one, but I have to read it because the person's name is Orphan Kicker.
Oh, no. Isn't that what they called you in high school?
Oh, yeah, I kicked orphans.
Call
Right.
me Orphan Kicker.
Walking down the street in Minneapolis, when a random guy walked up to me and handed me a $100 bill and muttered, "Trust me, you'll need this," and then walked away.
Yeah.
This person, go ahead.
I was just going to say, that's one of those statements you just take it.
Take it, don't ask questions.
No, just put it in your wallet, say thank you, you walk away.
No further questions, sir.
I mean, where? So I guess we just need to go to a street in Minneapolis and hope that people just hand us money.
I did that, but I got mugged.
Yeah. Like, he just said, I'm going to need this.
All right, here's a reply by Fly One Gorb.
Flying Gorb.
Yeah.
Flying Orb.
This is on the list of things I'll do if I were super rich. But this guy I gave $100 to with a mysterious message must be thinking is amusing.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Or you could just throw quarters at people, but then you'll probably go to jail.
Yeah, just throw them off the balcony. This is from Delete Myself. Oh, please don't. Evening after I gave birth to my daughter, and husband had gone home for the night. The baby was sleeping in the bassinet thing beside my bed. A woman came in and asked me if I wanted her to take the newborn to the nursery so I could get a little sleep. I said no, and she left. The next day or evening, the baby was fussing, and I asked the nurse if she could take the baby to the nursery for a couple hours so I could sleep. She said there was no nursery, and no nurse would offer that.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
That reminds me of the story. This guy who was walking with his daughter, and I think it was like a toddler, like in a stroller, and a woman comes and grabs the stroller and starts going like, "Help, he's trying to steal my daughter."
Yeah.
And she's like running away, and this crowd stops the gentleman while she's trying to run off with the baby. And I guess he's getting beat up by like some people trying to do a good thing.
Yeah.
But apparently she was just a crazy lady, and he eventually, I guess they were reunited with the kid. But that gives me like anxiety on a level that I can't even imagine.
I would knock a bitch out. I don't even care. You try and take my kid, you're getting a fist.
Not good.
I mean, like, I know that's insensitive. You try and take my kid, you're going down.
Just imagine like a gorilla noise when you punch. It's so primal. Rah!
Yeah, it would be instinctual 100%. Like if anyone tried to take my baby from me, like in a stroller or out of my arms, like, dude, I've had that thought. Like, I don't know why, but like, I'll be in the grocery store with my kids because my wife's at home working. And I'm like, I'm afraid to even like take my eyes away from my kid in the car seat for like 3 minutes, 3 seconds. Like it freaks me out.
Oh, I bet. This one is from Deleted because they're a coward.
You know what I realized is Deleted posts a lot of shit.
Yeah.
It must be one user.
I was younger and probably hallucinating, but I woke up in the middle of the night hearing a voice saying, "The pie is under the desk."
Don't look under the desk.
Then upon inspection, there was no pie.
God damn
He
it.
went and looked for the pie, was scared and confused at that.
The fact that he went and checked.
And then someone replied, and a little pissed off, right? I mean, under the desk pie is great.
He was saying die is under the desk. He barely escaped.
Oh, damn. So this happened last night.
Oh
I'm
my
not
God, you have
joshing
a
you.
story for everything.
So I woke up last night at 3 a.m. Is that the witching hour or is that 2 a.m.?
I don't know. I hate that though.
Anyways, I wake up in the night. It was like 3:23. And I swear to God, I heard Christine, because I shut this door where I sleep in my office. I snore too loud. Yeah, whatever. And I swear I heard her say, "Can I call you?" from like outside the door.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And I'm like, I like usually I just go back to sleep, but I'm like, oh, does she need something? Like, should I get up? And then I start thinking, I'm like, there's no way she would have said that. Like, that didn't happen.
Can I call
Like, she
you?
would just have opened the door. And so I was a little spooked, but I'm like, I'm just going to go back to bed. As I almost texted her. I almost went in there. She's a light sleeper, so I don't want to wake her up. But, like, literally, it kind of creeped me out.
Maybe your neighbor came in and was like, "You didn't answer the door. Can I call you?"
Yeah, maybe the math neighbor. Okay, good point.
Oh yeah. Do you lock your doors when you go to sleep at night?
Oh, hell yeah. I have a gun. Like, I'm going to lock my door, too, and if they break through it, they're going to die.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding.
Do you lock your doors? Yeah, I have a gun.
Of course I'm going to protect myself.
Okay. This is from Alex Earth. Oh, this is like some Matrix bullshit. I once saw a basketball go through the backboard. No glass shatter or anything. It just phased through it. And everyone stopped playing for a second, wondering what the fuck just happened. Almost everyone in the game saw it happen. So the edit says 8 other people saw it occur. We did stop playing at that point and tried to figure out what happened exactly by trying to recreate the event, but we couldn't quite do it. We ended up summing it up as some weird kind of optical illusion, but we weren't quite convinced given that we all saw it. It probably just went like underneath it and they're like, "Oh, whoa, Jesus. Ghosty backboard."
Okay, last story. This was my Matrix moment. I was in
God.
7th grade, middle school, English class, in a portable, yeah? And there's some things that you do as a kid that you've always done, there's certain mannerisms you do as a kid that carry out into adulthood. Like when I type on a keyboard, okay, when I finish, I like to just do a good hard jab at the last key. I don't know why.
Doesn't
I like
everybody?
it. It makes me feel good. Anyways, when I was in 7th grade, I was writing out sentences and, it's English class. It's super lame. So I went to go finish the assignment. I was on the last period. I had like a mechanical pencil or something.
You just fucking jabbed it.
And I go and I hit that period down as hard as I can. And the mechanical pencil goes backwards or something. Maybe I like lifted it up and like it went backwards. Anyways, the girl behind me also had her hand up holding a pen. And my mechanical pen hit her pen out of place. And then she was holding my mechanical pen and hers went behind her. Okay? And I remember I was looking around for my pen. And I kind of look at her and I realize that she has a mechanical pen. Like she looks at it, she's like, "Holy shit." It was like just the weirdest thing.
Yeah, you told me that story.
1 in a million.
Yeah. I know I have a couple. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but it's just like when we were at the office and I would kept making shots into your items on your desk and you just couldn't believe it.
That eyeball shot I did was the best. Anyways, well, it makes sense. So it responded your story. You read Britain, and it's Cloaca Magic. This person says,
That's what they said.
Are you okay?
Are you good?
Dude, something similar happened to me when I was in my primary school. My friend had built one of those rubber band balls where you wrap rubber bands around each other continuously until you have a small bouncy ball made of them.
I love doing that.
Classic. We would play with it at lunchtime in a concrete area beneath our school building. The area was fully concreted, and above it was our classroom building. It was mostly open, so you could walk freely underneath the building for most any angle, but some sections had brick walls. We used to throw the rubber band ball into one of these walls, taking turns to catch it on the rebound and then throw it again.
Yeah, it's called wall ball.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I love wall
my
ball.
favorite game. The wall we used to use was next to an open space, which led out to the playground equipment, so that was usually populated with students. Anyway, one afternoon, after the bell rang to signify the end of the lunch break, my mate decided to throw the ball at the wall as hard as he could, I guess to see how far it would bounce off. Again, a classic move in wall ball.
Absolutely.
I was standing at an angle where I could see him, the wall, the ball, and the playground equipment behind the segment of the wall. There was a kid standing right there behind the wall with his back to it, facing the playground equipment. So my friend pegs this rubber band ball as hard as he can from point blank right into the center of the wall. And then I see this kid grab his back and yell out in pain.
Oh, God.
Somehow, and I have absolutely no idea how, but the rubber band ball had seemingly gone through the bricked wall and hit this kid square in the back. Really weird.
What a douchebag.
Must have been the rubber band ball of hate.
Yeah. Hey, another one from our friend Deleted. My dad tells a story from when I was a kid. We lived in an older house that had some strange things go on. An old guy had actually died there and was left in the house for weeks before anyone found him. We always kind of joked that he haunted the place, but we did hear shit and some strange things happened. My dad was the only one who never bought into any of it. He's an atheist type who doesn't believe in anything like that. He will tell of this one strange time, though. He woke up in the middle of the night and said he was sure he heard something rustling around in the basement. Now, the way our house was set up, the garage connected to the basement, and then there was a full set of steps up to the main floor where our bedrooms were. When my dad heard the rustling, he thought someone broke in. He grabbed a baseball bat from the closet and made his way to the door at the top of the basement steps. He says that he could continuously hear the rustling. Then slowly, he heard the person walking up the creaky steps. One by one, clear as day, he could hear them walking and getting closer to the top. That's a little fucking creepy.
Yeah.
He readied the bat as the person stopped on the top step. He says that he then heard the sound you hear when someone grabs the side of a doorknob, where you can hear it kind of jiggle in the door.
Yeah, a little jiggle.
Yeah, a little jiggle. Then he could hear and see it start to turn. Then, nothing. The door never opened. He didn't hear another sound. He waited there for several minutes, bat raised, goosebumps on his arm. He never heard anyone go back down the steps or move at all. He finally turned on some lights and opened the door. The top step was soaking wet. Other than that, everything was totally normal. No one was there. That's the only story my dad has like that at all. He still gets the chills when he tells it and has no explanation for it.
I have an explanation. It was God.
God paying a visit. A reply from Box Office 1. The ice monster almost made it into your home. You're lucky that the temperature was high enough for him to melt before he was able to get into your freezer.
Goddamn ice monster.
The wet bandit strikes again.
All right, this story's from Gom.
Gom.
So, it was my birthday, and I figured I would hit the bars for a bit.
It's my birthday.
Well, I'm going to take some shots. Where's Kelly?
What?
Yeah, she's hoeing.
Anyways.
Good times to be had. I drank entirely too much, and things went downhill from there.
If you drink entirely too much, it is not a good night. It's not a good morning.
It might be fun. Yeah. Sometimes blacking out is nice.
You know? Dude, no.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I've never blacked out. Ever.
I've come to drink Jack again. All right. My head was pretty fuzzy when I blacked out in at my house. How in the hell did I get here? I gotta lay off the jack. Holy shit. I didn't even read. All right. Oh, well.
Creepy.
Let's go to bed. I head up the driveway and notice that the garage door was ajar.
How the hell do you open a jar?
Guess I didn't close that all the way. I go in and make sure to close the door. I go into the basement. Whoa, I must be pretty bad off. I don't remember having all this stuff in here. Wait, what the fuck?
He's in someone else's house.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten drunk and woken up in a race car bed? Right, let's move on.
No, I can't say that I have.
What did I get into tonight? Maybe Mike has a clue. I should ask him tomorrow after some sleep. Man, I gotta hit the head. Back teeth are floating.
What the fuck?
I don't remember the stairs being this creaky. A project for another time. I reach out, grab the handle, and start turning when it hits me. I don't recognize that handle. This isn't my basement, and I'm in someone else's house.
This isn't my wife that I snuggled up with.
This isn't my screaming family. This isn't my hatchet.
This isn't my whiskey. This isn't my dog. This isn't my neighborhood.
Two things become very apparent as my head rapidly clears. I need to get the fuck gone before someone wakes up, and I no longer need the restroom. I creep down the stairs, being very careful to step on the outside to avoid the creaking.
Do you know what just fucking happened? Think about the last story we just read. Someone's in the basement rustling around. The top step is wet. This guy just pissed himself on the top step. These guys, it's like the same fucking story. This is just the other. This is just the other side of it. He pissed the top step and got out.
I leave through the same door I entered, making sure it closes.
Oh my God.
I race down the street to put some distance between myself and my shame. I reach the corner and realize I was one street over from mine. That was the night I decided to stop drinking.
You almost got a baseball bat to the face, buddy.
I guess breaking into someone else's house and pissing on the top step makes you reevaluate your choices.
I told you. Oh my God.
That's the funniest thing I didn't even notice.
They get together like the next week and the guy's like, the top step of my fucking basement was just wet. I almost knocked this guy's teeth out. And he's like, yeah, that's weird.
I swear I smell whiskey on the other side of the door.
So much whiskey. This is from High as a Flying Kite. Years back, I was at a bar at a multiplex cinema with a group of friends and a girl I was really into at the time. Left the bar and went to the lobby to take a phone call and spotted one of those crane grabber machines in the arcade packed full of random toys and stuffed animals. For whatever reason, someone had left a single credit in the machine.
Divine providence.
Right? Thought, fuck it, may as well. Things are rigged anyway, right? First attempt, picked up this little yellow bear that was lying face down and won it. Took it out, flipped it over, and see my crush's name printed on the bear's chest. Never been able to explain that one.
Top comment. Did you get with her?
I didn't know his girlfriend's name was Care Bear.
All right, this one is from Clonopin Penguin.
Clonopin Penguin.
Yeah. Sometimes all the coincidences line up for you just right. When I was a kid, my parents took me to sit on Santa's lap at a large toy store. I asked him for a very specific toy from the large set that I had been looking for forever. He said he would do his best, then handed me a little gift drawn at random from a giant pile next to his chair. It was exactly the toy I had just asked for.
Let me see that fucking toy bag.
Santa and his parents were amazed. I had just started doubting the whole Santa thing, but getting that present totally convinced me for at least a few more years at least.
I bet Santa's like, holy shit.
Oh, holy shit! Here you go! Ho, ho, ho!
Oh my God, that would make my day. He's like, oh, holy shit. Here you go.
And he took out this metal cup and drank from it. I learned later it was a flask.
He was shaking. Santa smelled like piss and cigarettes. This is from Quirky Lady. This is so odd, I don't know how to preface it. When I was 10, we were having work done on our front lawn. Tons of tiny trees were being planted in rows. Kind of strange looking back, but whatever. My parents thought it was aesthetic, I guess. Anyway, I was hanging out by one of the new trees when the water by the roots started bubbling. I knelt down to get a closer look and saw a single detached crab claw just floating there. I still don't know.
What?
It's like the freaking whalebone in the tree next to Mel's hole. So he put an edit in here. It says, "All right, everyone, I've since gotten the same answer several times. Apparently, shellfish is commonly used as a fertilizer, and the quick absorption of water into an air pocket can cause bubbling. 12 years of mystery solved. Thanks, fellow Redditors."
Nice.
I like the mystery. I don't want to know what it is.
Yeah, I just want to think crabs are coming out of the ground to take over the earth again.
Again.
Yeah.
Again. It's the second coming of crabs.
We got crabs again.
Uh-oh.
This one is from Deleted. When I was a sophomore in high school, I came home one day to all the leftovers in the fridge eaten and the Tupperware left out by the sink. This was strange because no one was supposed to be home all day, and we always clean the dishes before we go to bed. So it couldn't have been from the night before. When my parents, bro, and sis get home, I asked them if they had come home for lunch or whatever, and they all said no. So I told them about the food that was eaten, and they all said they had not eaten it.
It wasn't me.
Wasn't me. So, to this day, I am convinced that there was someone living in our attic. My room is right below the attic, so at night I can hear every sound that comes up from there. I occasionally hear very fast running. Sure, it could be an animal, but it doesn't explain the dirty dishes. I searched the attic for hours to be sure, but didn't find anything.
You know what that's called, right? It's called frogging.
Yeah?
Literally, Google it. Say, what is frogging?
Instead of searching the attic, I would just looked in my shirt and spelt it.
Oh my God, you're so funny. Literally, Google, what is frogging?
I believe it's just, you're leapfrogging into someone's house.
So I don't remember what movie it was, but it's called frogging, where you live in someone's attic or somewhere in the house without them knowing. See how long you can do it. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's not cool. It's very illegal, so don't do it.
You never do the dishes. And you
was that a question?
You get irritated about how messy the house is, so you leave Post-it notes that says, "Hey, clean this up." Your significant other, because you don't know their names. You're trying to make them think that it's the wife doing it.
Oh my God, that would upset me so bad.
It's I didn't put that. Yes, you did.
It's how many fucking times are you leave a Post-it note? Just do it.
We had 8 enchiladas in the fridge last night, and you ate them all?
I knew you were a bigger guy, but god damn. 8 enchiladas? That's weird. No, it wasn't enchiladas. We made lasagna the other night. Never mind. I was that's weird.
Yeah, I ate them.
You just sneak over and live in my attic for a while.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little chilly up there right now. So.
Britton, you could add a little more salt to your goddamn food.
All right. This one comes from Standard J.
Okay.
One night, I was out drinking alone at a bar, and I have no clue how I got home. Yet somehow I did, with my car. That's irresponsible. Obviously, there is a possibility that I stupidly drove home drunk, but the park job was perfect. I think somebody may have driven me home that night. No clue who, though. Another time, all of my friends and I don't remember anything about that night after 1 a.m. 4 of us, and we didn't even get very drunk. We're pretty sure someone doped us with some GHB or Rufinol. The most inexplicable thing to ever happen to me, though, was the time I drove across the country using my GPS. Halfway along the trip, my GPS reconfigured my route, and I ended up in an abandoned church and graveyard in the middle of nowhere. It was off a range road, which itself was off some obscure secondary highway. Dude, your GPS is wanting you murdered. Don't ask how I thought my GPS wasn't taking me somewhere weird. I was just desperate to get home. I don't know for certain, but when I looked at the bell tower, I swear I saw a silhouette standing in the window. When I looked at my GPS, it said, "You have arrived," as though I had plugged in those coordinates at my destination. I got the fuck out of there as quickly as possible and haven't used my GPS since. That entire night was a little messed up, but that was the most memorable moment of it. I don't know what happened, whether or not I actually saw what I think I did, whether or not I was actually hearing what I thought I was hearing. I just don't question that night and try to avoid thinking about it.
Dude, if you got a GPS taking you to a graveyard, I feel like it's kind of rude not to go in there.
So why would it be rude, though, not to go to the graveyard?
Because fate drove you there. Went all out of the way to fuck with the GPS satellites to triangulate you to the wrong place.
It's trying to put you where you're going to be buried.
Yeah. I bet it would have been a better story if she went in.
Probably.
Yeah. It ended up being the silhouette was the Marlboro Man.
See, it's actually my turn to have a story now.
Oh, let's hear it.
So we were going to a friend's house a couple years ago, and we had never been over there. We just knew them from work. And so they gave us their address, and it like halfway like down the freeway, it has to take this really sketchy exit that they're still working on. And so it takes us under these underpass where the road just stops. And it's like calculating route. And it's like proceed to the route, and there's no road. And we're in the middle of nowhere, and it's super dark, and it was just really, really sketchy. And like it literally did just that because we're like on the freeway. It's like, oh, turn right now. And it was just like immediately had us go there. And we were like 3 miles from the next exit.
What the hell? That's kind of creepy.
That's our new creepy sound.
Yep.
Floating in the abyss.
Your story got a reply from Deleted.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's so weird. Deleted is back again.
Something very similar to the last story happened to me and my family. We were driving several states away to Georgia to visit a friend. It was our first time there, so we didn't know where we were going once we got one town away. So we pulled out the GPS on my phone. It took us to a dirt road that turned sand and dead-ended at a very creepy graveyard with no trespassing signs all around.
Wasn't this just my story with an added graveyard at the end?
So much cooler.
Jesus.
And then the car's alternator started to go out. It was the middle of the night, and our headlights were starting to dim, and we had no service.
And then the zombies came from the ground.
Jeeba saved me.
They wanted my brains.
We finally found our way back into town where our car died in the middle of the road.
It's Towna.
Once the car was fixed a few days later, we went back to the graveyard. It was creepier in the daylight somehow. Then my Then my sister started screaming and crying, but wouldn't tell anyone why. So we left. It was a really good trip.
I love the ending. It was a really good trip.
Overall, it was a great way to stay in shape.
We just ran for fucking hours. All the calories I burned. This is from Wyndham.
No. It's Wyndham style.
Opa Wyndham style. Oh. Cleet's doing the dance, everybody. In 1989, I was watching TV one night when the signal abruptly ended. The screen showed only snow, and the audio was just white noise. I changed channels, but every one of them was the same. So I called the So I called the cable company to complain. The person I spoke to checked and told me there was no problem with cable transmission. Everything was going out as usual. They also pointed out that if there was a cable failure, they would have gotten lots of calls. But I was the only one who had a problem.
It sounds like you're the one person complaining.
I was going to say, I'm a fix-it type, and I'm perfectly at home with tech toys. So I checked. I don't know why I thought of that. He has all them toys at home.
Yeah.
He's real comfortable.
They vibrate real good.
With all them tech toys. Oh, so I checked the back of the TV VCR hookup to see if possibly a cable had come loose and disconnected. Now, wouldn't you do that before you called and made an ass of yourself?
Yeah, if you were a tech guy, you know.
He just said he's a fix-it type and I'm perfectly at home.
Have you tried jiggling the cables? You gotta jiggle it gently.
How many inputs does your TV have, sir? All the cables were snugly screwed in place. But then I noticed that the main cable was attached to the VCR's output jack, and the cable connecting the VCR to the TV was connected to the input jack. Now, we're talking about a VCR, so those who don't know what a VCR is, me neither. Just kidding. I love all my VCRs.
It's a video cassette recorder.
I still have all my original Land Before Time cassettes.
I liked those growing up.
So good. As I say, I'm no stranger to tech toys, and I couldn't imagine that I'd mistakenly hooked up the VCR the wrong way. And if I had, how could it be that it had worked perfectly for months, both recording, playing back, and passing along live shows to the TV? then suddenly stopped working. I connected the cables correctly and everything worked as it should, but the whole thing reminded me of the scene in Poltergeist where the woman walks past a kitchen table, then a moment later looks back at it and all the chairs are stacked on top of it. It's exactly like that. VC is plugged in wrong and it's like a table with all the chairs atop it.
I like Poltergeist. It was a good show.
If I'd come home and turned on the TV and it didn't work, I could have at least speculated that I'd sleepwalked the previous night and rearranged the cables. Or that someone had broken into my apartment and switched them as a joke, because that's what you do. But I'd been watching for at least an hour. Then, suddenly, the only rational explanation I could come up with was that I'd somehow hooked up the VCR wrong and it somehow worked fine for several months despite the incorrect wiring, then suddenly stopped working. I worked in radio at the time, and the next day I asked the station engineer if it's possible to hook up a VCR wrongly and for the thing to still work. He assured me that it was not. I haven't thought about it in a long time, but even though it happened 25 years ago, it's creeping me out right now to think about it again.
A spooky cable tale. All right, guys. Well, I guess next week we'll be doing the iceberg because somebody fucked it up. I'm not going to name any names, but
yeah, next week we're up for some good old iceberg fun, hopefully, if Cleet remembers how to save a document.
And as always, thank you for entering the abyss.
Until next time.